Alright, so what I did first was drew just a sketch of what I wanted to create. So these are earrings. I'm going to buy the hook part just from a jewelry like Joann's. You can buy it. You can make it yourself, but if you want to make sure that it doesn't react to your ears, you can just buy a piece. Okay. Nate, can you put that away, please? Alright, so the design is going to be about this big. Here's the impressions that I'm going to put on. I'm going to make two. So here's the Cuttlebone. It always has a shell part on the back, which is hard, and this is the actual bone part, which is really soft. I think you guys already did this part, but in case you didn't, when you cut the Cuttlebone in half, which we have already done with a jeweler's saw, you need to make this part flat. If this part is not flat, and then I go to push it against the wood to cast it, all the metal will run out. So I need to make sure that this is flat and this is flat, and so they are put together tightly. So just take a piece of sandpaper and just sand it like that, and that is good. Okay, there's a lot of different ways that you can make your Cuttlebone design, but I've put together some tools like this and this. Carve out the Cuttlebone if you want to. Alright, this is one of the easiest ways to make a perfect circle. If your design involves a perfect circle or something like that, please do not try to draw it. What I do is take something like this or this and actually push it in there, because I can't draw a perfect circle and I don't expect anybody else to. So since this is already the size of what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this and push it into my Cuttlebone, which is very soft, so it's very impressionable, and you should be able to just push it in like that, and now I've made just the outside of my design. If I just leave it like that and make a sprue, then it will create what looks like a ring, and I want this to be solid. So the next thing I'm going to do from here is I'm going to create my sprue, which again is just like a built-in funnel. Doesn't have to be necessarily that wide, but it has to connect to your piece. Okay, so it starts from my design and then just goes straight up to the top. So I draw it like that, and then I'm just going to use this tool to just scrape it out, because I have to have a hollow space for that pewter to be able to flow through. It just needs to be touching your design, but hopefully it doesn't interfere with your design too much. So I'll have to do a little bit of sanding and redoing on that part. Okay, so that's pretty good. It just needs to be a little bit wider at the top and then get narrower at the bottom. So if you look at it from the side there, you can see how the pewter is going to melt in there and go to my design. Okay, the next thing I want to do, if I want this to be solid, which it doesn't have to be solid, it can have holes in it. Like, see that heart one there? That has negative space, it has holes in it, so that's an option. Okay, but I do need to, if it's going to be solid, remove all of this within my design. So you can either stamp it if you have something that is that size, or you can kind of scrape it away like this. If you mess up and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, I removed something that I didn't want to remove, can't put Cuttlebone back on, okay? It's not like other materials like clay you could do that with, but this is like, ooh, if you mess up, you just kind of problem solve and make the design bigger or make the design different. So try to figure out a way to fix it if you mess up, or just don't mess up. But like I said, this isn't very expensive. A piece of Cuttlebone is about $1.50. So worst case scenario, if you need another piece, I can give you another piece. Okay, so I'm about down to that level where the other impression is. And you want to get it as smooth as possible. I feel like that's pretty good so far. Okay, the next part of my design includes this little plus sign and these dots here. So I've got some tools that I selected that are the right size and that I think are hard enough to make an impression. So I'm going to use this to push in that geometric design. So it's making an impression. I try to center it. Okay, so you can see that there. And then this, there's a lot of things. I could either use this, which is just a center punch, but I think that would make a pretty good dot, or a smoothly sharpened pencil. And I've kind of rounded it to the way I wanted it. 2. So it's not too